We have a spectacular speaker tonight. We have many people that we admire and whose contributions we appreciate. But I can't think of anyone in our field that I admire more, or that I appreciate more, or that I cherish more than Roberto Zaldivar. He's a spectacular man, a spectacular surgeon and teacher, and he is one of the funniest, most delightful people I've ever met. He's a true delight, and Roberto is synonymous with posterior chamber pseudophagus. He is practically the developer of all the improvements that came in the original implantable contact lens, now called implantable columnar lens. He's been recognized in a variety of ways. He's received numerous medal lectures and numerous accolades in his own country. He's been celebrated by the government as a surgeon, as a businessman, and as a philanthropist. His contributions are well known to all of us since we are all implantologists. And so it's with enormous pleasure that I invite Roberto Zaldivar to deliver the Jan Worst Medal Lecture. Roberto, please.
It's a great honor for me to receive tonight from this prestigious society the Jan Worst Medal Award that recognizes the many and unquestionable contributions made by Jan Worst. I consider this distinction one of the most important awards I have ever received during my career. I can't start my presentation without remembering that I met Dr. Jan Worst when I was very young in the 80s, just when I started to become interested in phakic IOL. I always remember his visceral defense concerning iris claw for myopic correction. Many years ago, around the 70s, he achieved a great experience with claw system used for fixating IOL in aphakic eyes. I had just started my first step in ophthalmology, and my interest fluctuated between iris claw and Bykov with angular sustainability. At the time, one of the doctors that most influenced Jan Worst was Cornelius Binkhorst, the inventor of the first lens implanted by my father, Roger Zaldivar. I would like to finish paraphrasing Dr. Jan Worst. I persevere having in mind a phrase by Louis Buffet: "One is always wrong by being right too early. I thought I am wrong by being right too early. I keep my will." If you love what you do and you are able to share that feeling with your son, it is very possible that he chooses the same path. Life is great. Enjoy it. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Roberto. I traveled and spent a week with him at his clinic to learn about phakic posterior chamber IOLs, and I was shocked. So, you know, it's our history and tradition to roast our speaker, and Dan Dury was one of the first to travel. Can you give us some information about Roberto that you'd like to...
Spend time with Roberto and his delightful family. And in 1991, well, 1990, really, Roberto came and visited John Hunkler and myself in Kansas City. And he wanted to look at some efficiency in his clinic because he felt like it wasn't moving fast enough, and he was trying to touring around. And it ended up being he was interested in excimer lasers, so I had the privilege of coming down, and you saw the crane putting the excimer laser in, and so I was there the first time he was doing excimer laser. And his clinic wasn't very efficient at that point in time. I mean, it was amazing how they were doing everything. Roger, his father, and Roberto, they did every test themselves. They had really no staff that was helping it, and they were seeing everything. They were running very late at night. And the next time I was able to go down to the celebration in 1993, when the new institute was open, it was the most efficient place in the world, and just amazing what he'd done is taking the ideas he'd picked up from friends and with his own initiative, and just an awful lot of thought became one of the most efficient and high-quality ophthalmologists that any of us have ever had the chance to go visit. Just want to honor you and your family and all the contributions you've made both scientifically and especially in the friendship. Thank you very much.
Don't let him fool you. He's older than he looks. And it's good that you're persistent. Actually, the first time that Roberto and I shared some thoughts about problems in ophthalmology, we were working on incisional refractive surgery to treat astigmatism. But one thing we didn't talk about tonight that I'll mention, just a couple anecdotes, is that Roberto really is a Renaissance man, and I believe that he represents the best of our club. It's sort of a given that he's one of the most skilled surgeons in the world. He's an innovator. He's talented. He's a great lecturer. He writes. But he's also, besides being a lot of fun to be with, a great athlete. And Roberto, you are a joy to spend time with, and I couldn't be more delighted that you achieved this award.
And I go back almost 20 years, I guess, and for most of us, it's that way. And we were so pleased and honored when Roberto came to visit with us in Sarasota. And then we went to visit Roberto, of course, in Mendoza and his family. And Roberto honored me by having me do cataract surgery on his mother many, many years ago, which was a great honor. So I don't have too much to say except that Roberto and I consider that we are brothers, and brothers in the same endeavors and in the same contributions, and we respect each other. So I love you, Roberto. Thank you.
New member in this club, and it's a great honor for me. But at the same time, I cannot see Roberto honored without saying a word for him. Roberto, I know Roberto now for almost 12 years, and he's one of the very few people I really can feel when he's working, doing surgeries, or presenting, or teaching, or discussing. Everything comes from the bottom of his heart. Roberto has a very warm personality. I always loved staying with him, learning from him, listening to his presentations, watching him doing anything, not only surgeries, whatever you see Roberto doing, he does it from the very bottom of his heart. Roberto, it's my honor to be here today and see you getting this great honor. Thank you very much for being my friend.